stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful. I'll have to use smaller words around you. A genius! And the board was going to leave you to rot. But are your wits as quick as your fingers? Nerve damage in your extremities. Rather anemic, but at least you'll fit in. Good metabolism, high likelihood of digesting Saltuna. An eye for detail. I bet you wrote some thorough reports. Someone made a note that you're oblivious to flirtation. You're easily brainwashed. Glad I found you before the board did. If you wanted to steal from the rich, you've come to the right colony. I hope we haven't lost that silver tongue to frostbite.
I hope you know how to cook with mostly inorganic material.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers.
Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 9%. Skip drive
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Well, welcome. This game looks amazing. I think I'm gonna have to adjust the sensitivity or something. It almost feels like there's mouse smoothing or something going on. But it's not like a setting, so maybe I'll have to go into the config and turn that off somehow. I don't know. Maybe turning it down. Maybe it just feels so sluggish. Like you're dragging it. I don't know how to describe it. I'll try and play. I don't know, maybe I need to turn it up is what I need to do. Let's try 100. I feel like that's a little more manageable for me, but it almost feels like it's a little too sensitive. So, I guess this is Fallout in space. I'm sorry, this is gonna be the last time. Just gonna turn it down a little more. Maybe 65.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
It says I have low health, but I really don't. I'm not gonna use that.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
So I think if I actually shoot him, he'll die permanently. I don't want to do that. Maybe he can become a companion or something. I really wish I could fix this mouse. It really feels like I'm using a controller as a mouse. Like, mouse smoothing is definitely on. Okay, it wants me to shoot it, but I'm gonna see if there's any more loot. It's so slow to turn. Let me see if there's something I can do to fix that real quick, because that's pretty unbearable. How to fix it? Okay, I found the code I need. Okay, let me input that. Let me do this real quick. The things we must do to make the games work. Okay, so here. Here. Okay, and then edit this file. Put this inside it. Save that. Alright, let me restart the game real quick. Well, I'll save it first. And then quit. I'm sorry for this. Okay, take two. gonna leave that where that is now, and I'll change it when I'm in the game. Wow, that thing looks kind of cool. It's horns. Oh yeah, that's a lot better, but let me see. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Back to 50. Okay. The mouse definitely feels a lot better now. Like it doesn't feel like laggy or anything.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the... This...
So this is basically like the VATS system or whatnot, where you can just slow down time. So that looks like an enemy. I'm gonna shoot the barrel. Oh, what? Oh, that melee looks so bad. Like, that looks really bad. For a game that looks so good, the animations look pretty janky so far. But that's fine. Oh. It's like loot? Okay, yeah. Okay. What was it? I don't have anything there. How do I access the, yeah, here we go. There's my goofy looking guy. Oh god. Oh no. This game is a lot. I wonder how long it actually took to make this game. Like how many years? And if it began as a different game. Like, was this originally a Fallout title? Would not be surprised if it was. So this is just like a way of looking at everything that you've learned. If you forget anything. and how to do it, what things mean. It's a pretty big area, but that's not the entire map by any means. The combat doesn't feel too bad when you use melee. I feel like the gunplay is really meant for that slowdown thing, and I don't want to use that. I will try it, but I don't know if I'm gonna like abuse it. Wasn't there one more guy to loot? There was. Okay, whatever. There were 3 of them, right? Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going.
Here before you get yourself killed.
How do you holster your weapon? I guess you don't? There must be a way. Hold on. You hold the reload button, just like in Fallout.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some.
I bet, when they take him back, they're gonna, like, kick him out, and then I can make him one of my companions. It seems like it's just set up perfectly to be your first companion.
You think? Most marauders can't even talk. But criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Where did that shadow come from? Did the game just decide to start enabling a day-night cycle as soon as she finished talking?
I just earned a fine bonus.
Time to collect a fine bounty.
I guess it might have been from one of the trees. I feel like there's so much to explore in the I'm not, you know? Like, what's over here? Can I go here without them complaining? I kinda don't want to abandon them. Yeah, like, see? There's loot. What is this? Primal? Stretch textures. Oh, an axe that you can't... Oh, you can get. Nice. 8-bit card... Oh, no. 8-bit. Yeah, right. Shovel. I kind of am a bit disappointed that there's no real interactivity with a lot of the items so far, or at least the props. Oh, lack thereof. Kind of like you'd find in Bethesda games. I know this isn't not Bethesda, but I feel like adding physical props to the game really brings life to it. Even if it really does bring a lot more bugs. This almost feels like I'm playing No Man's Sky with like a combat mod installed. Well, I know it has combat in that game, but more like, you know, melee focused, I guess, instead of the laser gun. Can I talk to it? To this guy? Or her, rather?
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Okay, what about you?
Not just anyone has chosen to enforce landing regulations, you know? I had to fill out 4 whole forms.
I thought it was a robot at first, but it's just a guy with a mask on. Let's go in here.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
I'm thinking this is like a respawn point, maybe?
Intruders are not authorized to access the Marauder. Please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Oh, come on. Maybe I can double jump or something? There's like spacebar twice. Let's see what happens. No, nothing
Please
happened.
be advised that using the respecification machine will not make you a better person.
There's something that happens. Oh, it's like a dodge. Look at that. Alright, let's see if I can do it backwards. Time for for some sick jumps, bro. Okay. Maybe not. Let's just climb the ladder like a normal person. Oh, you can respec. I don't want to do that. Is there a way to look at my character? Oh, what is this? Oh, I used the heal button. Whoops. That almost looks like the Roadhog animation from Overwatch when he heals.
Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value.
Requires power regulator.
Marauder, please be informed this ship does not possess a working power regulator for you to steal. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
I'm gonna do this one.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Oh my god, wall of text after the other. Let's see. Okay. It's just explaining how you level up the skills. And how consumables can do it temporarily. That's basically it. Things I knew already, but this is just stuff for new beginners. Yep. Oh. Accepting flaws. Okay. How do you accept a flaw? Maybe that's something that happens later on, because I don't see that here. Okay, fast travel unencumbered. Sprint speed. Walk speed. I don't know, maybe just the base health? Or carrying capacity, one or the other. Or maybe this one. I am alone. Whatever. Whoa, that looks like
The
hell.
navigation console is offline at this time, Captain.
That looks so much like hell. Says skill points available. Did I not? Oh, these, right. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. Combat dialogue? Why is this still flashing? As if I can do something here. Oh, I have to apply it. I hate that it doesn't show you where in the list that these are. You just have to open every single one. I don't really need to read any of these. I guess I could just turn the tutorial off, but whatever.
These surveillance devices allow me to monitor you constantly. Please ignore them. If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain. Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
This really does look like Fallout.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I'd report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
I can't believe that worked. People will believe anything these days. Oh, holy shit. Alright, well, that's the Outer Worlds. No, I'm just kidding.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
Say, because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours... Oh, by the... Edge... No.
Okay, and we're back. Now we got the Minecraft music going. It's like a culmination of a bunch of different games. So that slow-mo mode isn't as OP as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna work like it does in Fallout, where everything completely stops. That is not the case. Alright, we made it to Edgewater. Let's see what's here.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Not so fast.
Oh,
What's this about?
I'm sorry. Okay, whatever.
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend.
I'm just passing through.
Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices.
Oh man, you have a choice of actually telling him you're him.
I'm being vigilant. Don't want to get blindsided by some corpse-chewing marauder come stalking out the shadows. Oh, worse. Unemployed cannibals. You ever seen a marauder hold down a job? Or put a stake into society? Well, if you're gonna go headhunting, talk to Constable Reyes back in town. She pays for marauders by the finger. I am employed by the Retirement Department of Spacer's Choice. That's fancy talk for working in the cemetery. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer?
I do what I want.
Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? Former people, yeah. Marauder's been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Couldn't tell you. No, I mean, I'm contractually prohibited from saying anything that might reflect poorly on Spacer's Choice. Ah, avoid it. Shouldn't have said that either. Look, forget I said anything. You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the 1. All my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees.
Huh? What? I wasn't dozing off.
Still not doing open cities, huh? That's fine. Just surprised.
Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work.
That was so weird. Their mouths were moving before they were talking. And then their lips like matched to what they were saying. That was kind of creepy. I really like the graphics in this game.
That said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
Nothing we can do about that.
Sure there is. We can have another 0G.
So let's see what happens if you just open fire and start killing people, shall we? Oh, you die. Okay.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
Nothing we can do about that.
Sure there is. We can have another 0G.
I don't know you. We don't welcome trouble. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here. You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some problems lately. I can get you a drink if you'd like. Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand. Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you? Go ahead. I don't see how that's any of your business. And there's no need for you to pry either. Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum. Coming right up.
Wait, what? Dehydrated water? How much money do I even have right now? I think it's this up here. I'd be spending almost all my money just to buy one thing here. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. Plague got you feeling woozy? Get yourself boozy with Spacer's Choice. Do you now? And what makes you think Mr. Thompson wants to talk to you? He's a busy man. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great big tower atop the cannery, and you'll get yourself a proper dressing down. It is a good thing. If you're not pulling your weight, you don't deserve to live here. Simple as that.
Okay, so if you hack the vending machine, you can sell to it. And there's like restricted items depending on rep with factions. Like that, I'm guessing, yeah. That's Bioshock. Or Fallout, maybe. I don't know if Fallout ever did that, did they?
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see,
Oh
so
my God.
I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Look around. Edgewater ain't exactly swimming in luxury. We can't afford to pay the body price of a suicide. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
was that?
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry.
Seems we've got a guest.
Shit.
Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
I didn't mean to skip over that conversation. That sucks.
You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
So, I love that it actually gave me the option of doing that. That was pretty cool.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
More like just hover over her and you'll figure it out.
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
I don't know. I do have that thing that's like Lone Wolf. But at the same time, I want to see what the companion is like. I guess I'll try it out.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Got a sec?
Really?
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Okay, so Thomas, I'll make sure to focus him as soon as I see him. Pop a cap.
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways. I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? That seems well within your expertise.
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others. The ones who left.
Adelaide McDevitt's encampment. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Something you need? that's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
See, that sucks. I want to be able to, like, hit it or somehow walk through it or, I don't know, interact with it in some fashion to make all those fly away like you know, just small little flowers. That die. What's over here? It almost looks like a vent. Wow.
Watch out! Don't mess with us.
Damn. She sniped that thing. What is this? Okay, so this guy died trying to get rid of him. Or no, two people died. Oh, that looks really cool.
Here they come!
What?
Here we go!
Oh my god, is she dead? Oh no, okay. So I guess it's like Fallout where they can get back up. Why can't I go up here?
Here we go!
No. Oh god, how far back am I? Wow. That's pretty evil. It's like before I left for the first time. Alright, well, I think this is probably a good stopping point for a video, so I guess we'll do the quest next time. I really like this game so far. I feel like I'm still in like the tutorial phase of the game. Maybe you actually do end up going to space and you can like fly around. I assume that's what you end up doing. You fix your ship up.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us?
The world feels very empty and very static. That's one of my main complaints of this game so far.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens here.
But I don't know. I guess it makes up for it in very pretty visuals. Really enjoyed the look of the game. It's very cool. Thanks for watching. See what happens next time.